that manner. The Dwarven King's heart is soft, but his axe is sharp. And his adopted daughter, Catti-brie, a deadly archer, destined to be a leader. They will resist. The newly crowned king of the Reghed barbarians, Wulfgar, son of Beorngar. If he can master his rage, he will be dangerous. Drizzt Do'Urden, the Drow outcast. Few can match his deadly speed. He could be the key to everything. They care for each other. Something to be exploited, perhaps. But their bond is strong. Regardless, they failed to secure the shard from that fool, Kessel. It's out there, exposed, for the taking. And now, it will be mine. Mine.
Hey guys, it's your boy, Just a Regular Gamer here, bringing you part 1 of my Let's Play Dungeons & Dragons Dark Alliance. Now, I know some people weren't happy about the graphics and probably the gameplay, because I know they released some gameplay a couple weeks ago, I believe. And I've seen many people just bashing the gameplay or bashing how the person was playing and saying that the graphics were so dated and stuff like that. Me, I do not care. I don't care what they say. I don't care what they think. I love Dungeons & Dragons. I love Dungeons & Dragons. It's an awesome game. It's an awesome franchise. Very old franchise. It was around before I was even born. It has 4 of my favorite companion parties in the entire world of Dungeons & Dragons, more specifically in all of Forgotten Realms. The 4 companions, also known as the Companions of the Hall. We're missing one companion. I don't know why he wasn't added, but I guess it's what they could do for now. But yeah, basically the Companions of the Hall are made up of Drizzt Do'Urden, the Drow outcast, master swordsman. So basically in the books, he is so skilled with his blades that he can draw his scimitar so fast it looks like they just teleport in his hands. That's how fast he is. And we got Wulfgar, son of Beorngar, the adopted son of Bruenor Battlehammer, and the wielder of Aegis Fang, his mighty warhammer. We got Catti-brie or Catti-brie. I always say Katie. I don't know why, but yeah. Archer, skilled archer, adopted daughter Bruenor Battlehammer, and the man himself, or the dwarf himself, I should say, the king of the king of Clan Battlehammer, Bruenor Battlehammer. Well, they'll probably give you some lore in game, but if not, I'll give you some lore background when we play the game. All right, let's do this. Selecting the character. Okay, for Drizzt, Drace Drow, Class Ranger, Alignment Chaotic Good, Role Duelist Assassin, Rapid Strikes and High Mobility, performs backstab executions on vulnerable monsters, can trigger a team attack by performing a parry or backstab attack. His strength is 7, dexterity 10, constitution is 7, intelligence is 6, wisdom is 5, charisma is also 5. Ultimate attack, Astral Companion. Gwenhwyvar attacks random targets within a 20-meter radius of Drizzt and is immune to all attacks. Now, Gwenhwyvar, she is, if I remember correctly, she is 500 pounds of panther. She is summoned from a figurine of power that basically Drizzt has like this figurine that allows him to summon Gwenhwyvar from the astral plane. And we got Cady Bree. Race human, class fighter, alignment chaotic good, role archer, sniper, punishes foes at long range with arrows, performs acrobatic flips to keep a safe distance, can trigger a team attack by performing a parry or landing the last hit on a monster with an aimed arrow shot. Strength is also 6, dexterity is 9, constitution is 6, intelligence 8, wisdom 4, charisma 7. Arcane arrows. Arrows have a larger hit radius, deal bonus damage, and pierce through breakable objects and monsters in a straight line. Now, about Cady Bree, she was adopted by Bruenor when her village, her entire village was attacked by orcs, I believe, and the entire village was wiped out. She was the only survivor. Bruenor, he led his clan, and he finds Cady Bree and decides to adopt her into the clan of Battlehammer Dwarves. In the books, thanks to her being raised by dwarves, she develops their accent. Like, she develops a dwarvish accent. it's funny actually, but that's a nice little key description or whatever that R.A. Salvatore included with her character. And at first she is an archer. In the first series of the book, she is an archer. She wields the magical bow called Tamriel, the Heart Seeker. It's an arrow it's a bow and arrow quiver that basically she can shoot arrows as much as she wants, and she will never ever run out of arrows. The quiver she has, each arrow she uses, the arrow will return to its quiver. She never has to worry about running out of arrows. Has an unlimited supply of arrows. And Tamriel, like, basically the bow can fire like these lightning arrows that just not only scorch enemies but also just pierces through them. And she's also, in the later books, she is Drizzt's wife. She becomes Drizzt's wife much later on in the books. And now we got the man himself, the king of the tribe of the Elk, Wulfgar, son of Bjornagar. He was part of the raid on 10 towns in Icewind Dale, and he's a member of the tribe of the Elk. If you look at his breastplate, you see an elk symbol emblazoned on his chest. That's his, basically saying he's the member of the tribe of the Elk. He eventually becomes king of the barbarian tribes by defeating the old chief in Mortal Kombat. So yeah, he was part of the attack on 10 towns when he's just a kid. Bruenor could have killed him, but he decided not to. He just knocks him out and basically makes him I guess you could say a slave, but not a slave. And basically, yeah, he makes him a slave. Basically says, you're going to pay back for the destruction that your tribe did, for the destruction that you were a part of. You're going to make up for it by working in the forge with everybody else until you make up your for your crime. Wulfgar, he makes up for it, becomes physically strong, becomes actually almost superhumanly strong. He can basically go up against an ogre and win. Without his hammer, he can still go up against an ogre and win. And in the original series in the original Crystal Shard novel where Wulfgar makes his appearance, he was originally supposed to be the main character, and Drizzt was supposed to be his sidekick, but I guess Drizzt's popularity and the interest in Drizzt won out against Wulfgar, and Wulfgar ended up becoming the sidekick in the end. So Wulfgar, he while working in the forge, he worked in the forge of Clan Battlehammer, and Wolf and Bruenor naturally developed a bond with him, developed a soft spot for him. He makes him a hammer, a war hammer, which you see in his hand, and it's called Aegis Fang. In the world of Forgotten Realms, certain dwarves they have the chance to make one masterpiece, only one masterpiece in their entire lifetime. That's the only way that's the only way they'll be able to do this once. And Bruenor's forging masterpiece was this warhammer, Aegis Fang. He poured his essence into it, his magic power into it. Well, Bruenor's not a mage, but basically his strength, his essence that makes him a forger, he poured into it. He put runes of Moradin and the different dwarf deities of Forgotten Realms onto the hammer to make it blessed and everything. And the warhammer, only Wolfgar, anyone could wield it, because Wolfgar in later books, he loses the warhammer and he has to get it back. He tries to get it back, but in a way, and I guess a reminiscence of Thor, Wolfgar can throw his warhammer and it can return to his hand. So yeah, I noticed a little Thor reference there when I first read the novel. Now back down to the final companion, Bruenor Battlehammer. He's the king. Bruenor Battlehammer, tough as nails, frontline and threat management expert, can trigger team attack by performing a parry or exhausted execute, shield dwarf, fighter, neutral good, and he's a tank. His strength is 9, dexterity is 5, constitution is 10, intelligence 5, wisdom is 7, charisma is 4. Clan Battlehammer, a banner that creates a sphere of powerful magic. The sphere grants significant physical and elemental resistance to all allies within the radius. Bruenor Battlehammer, he is the king of Clan Battlehammer and king of the Delzoun dwarves. His clan was exiled from his old ancestral home called Mithral Hall. Because in the words of Saruman from Lord of the Rings, his clan delved too greedily and too deep. They delved deep into the complex of their home and unleashed a black dragon named Shimmergloom and the Duergar, which are called the Grey Dwarves. They're called Duergar, but they're also known as the Grey Dwarves because they have gray skin tone. And they took over Mithral Hall and drove the rest of Clan Battlehammer out. And the only ones that stayed behind were some of the fighters of Clan Battlehammer, and Bruenor's father and grandfather stayed behind to fight. They did not make it. So Bruenor, like in the books, Bruenor is on a quest to reclaim his ancestral home, and he, funnily enough, tricks Drizzt into going with them, because Bruenor was pretending he's dying, and he tricks Drizzt into accepting the quest and going with him. And yeah, Drizzt would have went even if Bruenor didn't have to trick Drizzt, but he just did it, just like little funny comedy and stuff right there. Okay, and in the books, the armor and weapons and shield that Bruenor has, he takes that from his father, who was the king of Mithral Hall, and basically the arm, and he wears a crown that was like a helmet that's also the crown of the king of Mithral Hall, but you don't see him wearing that. You see him wearing his helmet with a broken horn. And how the horn got broken, he first damaged it at first, but then it broke because Wolfgar smashed the standard of the tribe of the Elk on top of his head and broke the horn clean off. So Bruenor, despite it being broken, he still wears that as a memento of his first meeting with Wolfgar, if I remember correctly. So okay, now enough of the lore. I'm picking Drizzt because he's my favorite character of Forgotten Realms, my favorite drow. Alright, let's get into it.
Kredd Shinavon, the Crystal Shard, forged from the magic of 7 liches, but with a treacherous will of its own. For thousands of years, the shard lay forgotten beneath the snows of Icewind Dale. There it waited, Until some fool, a would-be wizard lusting for power beyond his due, answered the Shard's call. A Kar Kessel claimed the Shard, and used its power to summon armies of evil creatures to his banner. From his crystal tower, he set them loose upon the Dale and the people of 10 towns. But we would not stand by and watch this tyrant destroy our homes. We companions rallied the united peoples of 10 towns and held our ground at the walls of Bryn Shander. Chased Kessel to the slopes of Kelvin's Cave. When the Shard realized that we had won, it abandoned him. It disappeared once again under the snows, along with Kessel himself. With Kessel gone, we thought the war was over. We were wrong. Though the Crystal Shard was lost, still it called to those who craved power. Its call was strong. And from across the realms they came. But we answered a call of our own. A call to stand together against this Dark Alliance. And defend our home against the threat of Krynn Shinabon.
Now, guys, okay, we're getting to the gameplay. Now, like, when it comes to that whole thing with Krynn Shinabon, or the Crystal Shard as it's called, okay, that's how you jump. X to jump. Circles to backstep. Okay, triangles to use blink. Okay, guys, like when it comes to Crystal Shard, in the book, it was actually Drizzt that confronted a Kar Kessel alone. He confronted him alone, and
Wow, a drow in Icewind Dale. I mean, Regis told me you lived out here protecting everyone, but you know, you guys don't have the best reputation.
I'll protect the Dale, my wife. But who are you? You say Regis sent you?
Kartik Stoneroller, merchant extraordinaire. Friend of your friend, Regis. And here at his request, to make sure you have everything you need for a fair price, of course.
now, like, okay, he mentioned Regis. Regis is a halfling, not a hobbit. He's a halfling. So halflings, they are, I guess you can say they are kind of like, they are based off of hobbits from the Lord of the Rings, but halflings, they don't have furry souls. They,
I guess if the Dale was in real danger, he'd be here.
I don't think so. Okay, like as I was saying, halflings, they are like hobbits to a degree. They like to eat, but I gotta say, like halflings, they are to a degree more adventurous than hobbits. They're not as like judgmental as hobbits are. Now, as I was saying, like Drizzt, he confronted a Kar Kessel alone on top of the slopes of Icewind Dale with only one scimitar. Like I read the novels. Trust me, I know. I read the novels. I would know this. So like Bruenor was down in Icewind Dale with his dwarves, and what's the name again? And wait. Okay, nothing there. And Wulfgar, he, after beating the old tribe of the Elk King to rule over in Mortal Kombat, Wulfgar arrived at the tribes. He appealed to the tribe's honor, saying, "We are a proud people. Yet we're siding with goblins, gnolls, orcs, yetis. We're siding with them. This dishonorable lot. Why are we siding with them? We are people. So why are we lowering ourselves to serve a cowardly wizard?" So yeah, like the barbarians, they don't trust wizards. They think wizards are cowards, basically, and they don't trust the drow either. And from what the merchant just said, yes, the drow, they do not have a great reputation. They have the worst reputation, and it's all their own fault, because the drow elves, they are not good. They are known for being an evil people, very evil, just out for themselves. They conduct raids on the surface. They kill. They sacrifice people to their goddess. Doesn't matter. They also are evil to themselves too. Like, I mean, in the Underdark, where in Menzoberranzan, which is the Drow city which means city of the spider, Menzoberranzan, that's where Drizzt was born. His family conducted a raid on another ruling house and wiped them all out. That's the thing of the Underdark. That's the thing of Menzoberranzan. Some in order to increase your standing in the city, well, more specifically, to increase your house's standing in the city, you gotta wipe out a house that's above yours. That's the only way to do it. And if you get caught wiping out another house by the ruling council, you will be wiped out. So basically, the ruling council, Menzoberranzan follows this rule when it comes to house wars like that. If the house that is being targeted for annihilation gets wiped out, they didn't exist in the first place. They didn't exist. The battle didn't happen. Nothing. It just didn't happen. Basically, deny all knowledge that the house existed. So Drizzt was the third son of Matron Malice and the weapons master of House Do'Urden, Zaknafein Do'Urden. Matron Malice, she's the ruler, was the ruler and was the leader of House Do'Urden, and she was pregnant with Drizzt and was about to go into labor in order to bring him into the world on the night that her house was going to attack another house. And also Drizzt was supposed to be sacrificed too. He was supposed to be sacrificed to Lolth, the Spider Queen, or the Spider Goddess that the Drow worship, part of the Dark Sindarin. The Dark Sindarin are basically elven deities that turn to evil. And but Drizzt's brothers, Dinin and Nalfane, they were on the battlefield killing off the ruling house. And Dinin, he was the second born, and thus the second boy, and it didn't have that much power. I don't know what the power struggle between Sith brothers was. There's like elder boy and second boy. I don't know what the power struggle with that was for. It wasn't really explored. I'll look it up. But Dinin, he killed Nalfane, his own brother, stabbed him in the back with his sword, and just left his body there. Yeah. And thus, killing of Nalfane, Drizzt was spared. And how they knew Nalfane was killed and they spared Drizzt is that each of Malice, Matron Malice, you can tell by the name, she's evil. Her name is Malice after all. She had two sons, well, 3 sons now, and 3 daughters. Her oldest, I think, is Brizza. I think Brizza is the oldest, and then there's Maya, and then there's Vierna, who is the daughter who is Drizzt's true blood sister, not half sister, but true blood sister. They got the same mother and same father. So I think Vierna was like connected to Nalfane by a magic spell to see who lives and who dies, so they can check their losses. And okay, Vierna finds out Nalfane was killed, says Drizzt is no longer the third born son, so he shouldn't be sacrificed because Lolth will probably look on disfavor with them, trying to look in disfavor on them. It was big old back and forth on whether Drizzt should live or die. And they decided to let Drizzt live. Drizzt was originally slated to become a wizard because like Malice wanted another wizard because Nalfane was one of their best spellcasters. But yeah, that didn't happen. Okay, we got the world map. Complete quest from the world map to progress through the campaign. Each quest is made up of 3 acts. Okay. And as I was saying, but Zaknafein, the weapons master, also Drizzt's father, he said, nah, he's not going to be a wizard. He has the look of a fighter about him. And Drizzt, he was naturally dexterous as a child. He was naturally quick with his hands as a child. And after all, he has the genes for it because his father, Zaknafein, is the weapons master and was known to be the best swordsman in Menzoberranzan, second to, like, and there were other fighters that wanted to fight Zaknafein, other weapons masters that wanted to fight him to prove their superiority, but they never got the chance because Zaknafein was killed. He sacrificed himself for Drizzt in order to spare Dritzt's life. Okay, and there's that. Oh, and how Drizzt finds out that Malus sacrificed Zaknafein to Loth. He gets mad about that, and he basically speaks blasphemy, says that the goddess that the Drow worship is a lie, that their entire civilization is a lie, and it's just pathetic. And his family was going to kill him for those words, and he, in his own words at the end of the first book, Homeland, said, "A true God damn you all, and damn that Spider Queen as well." And he throws down this orb of light that blinds them. And here's the thing, the Underdark, the Menzoberranzan is underground in the Underdark, a very dangerous place full with monstrous creatures. Basically, if you would rather, if you between the choices of staying on the surface and going to the Underdark, you're much safer on the surface than the Underdark because, well, it's too dangerous. Especially the deeper parts of the Underdark, it's extremely dangerous. So, and thanks to being underground for centuries and years and most of their lives, bright sunlight is very effective against the Drow. It saps some of their strength. It just hurts them bad. Drizzt, he got used to the sunlight where it doesn't affect him as much. It doesn't affect him as much at first, but it doesn't affect him no more, so he's good. And that's how Drizzt came to the surface. Well, there's more to that, but I'm not going to bore you with the details. If you guys want to find out more, please read the books. The books are awesome. Start out with Homeland, then read Exile, then read Sojourn. Homeland and Exile are Dritzt's time in the Underdark. Sojourn talks about his time on the surface, and Crystal Shard is like, I guess, like this. What we're about to play now. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, Fury of the Icewind. We're not doing that yet. Tempest, the Lord of Battles, calls forth the greatest warriors of Icewind Dale to prove they are ready to face the challenges yet to come. Preferred gear set drop, there's nothing. We can't do that yet, so I guess we gotta do this first. Wait. Companions of Icewind Dale, Bruenor's people have fled their home, driven out by new threats that have come to claim the Crystal Shard. Let's optional tutorial, Tempest, the Lord of Battle. Okay, let's do this. Get this so that way we can, like, you know, figure out how to play. I don't want to, like, jump into this game without knowing how to play. And the Crystal Shard, guys, it is kind of like the ring from Lord of the Rings. It does have a will of its own. It was made by leeches, which are powerful undead spellcasters or necromancers, and they did pour their essence into the Crystal Shard. And it does corrupt the wielder. It makes you wonder who's really in control. Was Akar Kessel really in control, or was Crench Naban really in control? And it does pull all evil towards it. It does basically.
Now, we will test the lessons learned at the Melee Make Fair, and I will judge your will.
All right, let's do this.
Remember what.
Yeah, let's do this. Oh, that's a new power from Drizzt. All right, let's do this. Ooh, got it. Okay, defeat the monsters with light. All right, you want to play? And also, Dritz is like a prodigy, because, like, I mean, in the, in Homeland, Dritz, like, when he was put into the school of sorcery, I know I said that Dritz, but Dritz is a fighter. Why is he in sorcery? It's like standard education for Drow. They are required to go first through, well, fighters are required first to spend to spend a certain number of years in Melee Mag there, which is the school of fighters. It's called, like, Melee Mag there is the school of fighters. Dritz spent, I forgot how many years there. I gotta read the books again, but he spent a lot of years there. And then his, like, I guess you could say his, like, second year was spent in sorcery, which is the school of magic. And the teachers, one of the teachers there said that if Dritz had decided to pursue sorcery, he would become very powerful. Basically, Dritz is a natural when it comes to not only the skill with the blade, but also magic as well. And his final year is Arachnilith, I think it's called, Arachnirith, I forgot what it was called, which is a school devoted to, I guess you could say it's like religious school. That was called Guenhwyvar.
Come, Guenhwyvar!
Go and get him, girl. Go and get him, girl. And yes, Guenhwyvar is a girl. Trust me, she is. What the?
Die by my blades, goblins. Enemies of the day! Be ready!
And yeah, like, I forgot how many years. Basically, Arachnilith is like religious school. He's supposed to learn the ways of being a. He's supposed to learn the ways of learning the Drow. Basically, the way of Loth, the way of like basically the Drow religion.
You claim to be this country's protector, Triss Do'Urden. Show me that you're worthy.
Ah. Okay, it says block will consume stamina.
Study my
Okay, perform the jump, perform the evade.
Stay right there,
You are indeed a fearless warrior.
Now, and as I was saying, okay, like, yeah, like Dritz was required to spend certain years in those three schools. Melee Mag there, he spent the most time since he's a fighter, he's a warrior, and spend a certain amount of years in sorcery to learn the basics of sorcery, and the rest of his time was to spend in what's it called again? In Arachnilith, which is the school of Loth, learning the ways of the Drow religion. And that was also the beginning of Dritz's basically disillusion with the Drow society. Alright, it's parry. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, he got me. Okay. Okay. I got to time it right. Okay, there we go. And I'm not going to tell you what happened at Atarak in the books.
Another
Basically,
chance to make the Dale safe.
basically, guys.
And you are in fantastic.
Whose side are you on, Drow?
Not yours.
Then you comes alive. And you are in
Basically, guys, please read the books, because I mean the books are awesome. The books are really good. I've read the books so many times. As a matter of fact, for my birthday, I would.
down your enemies
As,
with big
as a matter of fact, for my birthday, I would always get the books for my birthday, or when I did good in school, when I was in high school.
To me! Come, goblins. Meet your end.
Go and get him, Gwen. Go and get her. Go and get him. Good girl. Good girl.
They can't stop us all!
Ooh, that's
Into your
nice.
holes, goblins.
All right, now let's activate Gwen again.
Come, Guinevere!
Go and get it. Good girl. As a matter of fact, guys, a new Drizzt book is coming out this fall. All right, let's open this chest. Awesome. Got a new cloak. Looting. Collect loot from opening chests to defeating foes. Loot can be collected from the Kelvin's Cairn at the reward chest. So yeah, like this book, I mean this series, I mean this game is basically a dream come true for me, because like for the longest time I was wondering, come on, when is Drizzt going to get his own book? Game. When's he going to get his own movie? Because I mean, if anyone deserves their own movie or show or game, it will be Drizzt in the Companions of the Hall. Because I mean, he has appeared in different games, but only as like a side character or a guest appearance or something like that. Like in Baldur's Gate, if you guys play Baldur's Gate, he has appeared in that. As a matter of fact, you can fight him and kill him, or just pretend to be him, but you have to fight him. And if what I managed to look up, people said he is not easy. He is overpowered, and I'll admit Drizzt can be overpowered at times, but he's come through a lot. He's learned a lot, and yeah, the overpoweredness doesn't feel unnatural. It feels natural because he's lived a lot of years, he's learned a lot of things, he's trained a lot, so yeah. All right, now
The United Peoples of Icewind Dale had defeated Kessel's armies and destroyed his crystal tower. But the dwarven warriors of Clan Battlehammer returned home to find their halls overrun, their people fleeing the valley. We rushed to their aid, fighting our way through the goblins in Verbeeg to find the goblin commander and put an end to the siege.
all right. Challenge level. Let's try that. I'm new to this game, guys. This game just came out. I'm still trying to figure out how everything works. Hey, Rasan69, how's it going, man? Yeah, same here. I read the entire series. As a matter of fact, I got one of the books of featuring these characters here with me now. As a matter of fact, if you look up the if you look up Dritz Erden like online and you see all the books he's been in, just know I probably have all of them, and there are a lot. Yep, just I started downloading it yesterday, and it just got done. It just got done an hour ago.